So this week is a pretty big week, especially if you are a WWE Network subscriber, because this Thursday, March 18th, WWE Network officially launches on Peacock. They will begin rolling out content leading up to next Sunday's Fastlane pay-per-view, which will air on both Peacock and the standalone traditional WWE Network, which is going away. We now have an official drop date for when the network here in the US is going to be shut down. And that date is April 4th. That is the date that the WWE Network, as we know it here in this country, it doesn't really affect any other country, only here in the US. That is the date, as we know it, that it will cease to exist on its own. And both nights of WrestleMania will be the first pay-per-view to air exclusively on Peacock. Fastlane is sort of the guinea pig, I think, to make sure things go smoothly. But this is from the press release that they issued this week. WWE will have a dedicated page on Peacock where fans can browse across every pay-per-view event in the last calendar year. Current or most recent season episodes of Steve Austin's Broken Skull Sessions, WWE Chronicle, and WWE Icons, as well as weekly episodes of NXT the day after they air on TV, and 2021 replays of Raw and SmackDown 30 days after air, plus groundbreaking documentaries including Undertaker, The Last Ride, WWE 24, and WWE Untold, reality series including Total Bellas, and collections of featured series, topical moments like Stone Cold Steve Austin Week, which is all this week, by the way, because Tuesday is 3/16. So they have a whole week of Steve Austin-related programming. Peacock will continue, and this is the part of the press release that really made me kind of sit up straight, not in a good way. Peacock will continually add WWE Network content to the library, making the entire WWE Network archive, including every WWE, WCW, and ECW pay-per-view, available to stream on demand before SummerSlam. It says when WWE sunsets the existing standalone network app on April 4, Peacock will be the exclusive streaming home to the network here in the US. To continue streaming WWE Network content, fans will need to sign up for Peacock. So if you are a Comcast Xfinity customer, let me just mention this first. You already get Peacock Premium at no additional cost. So you already get it for free. You don't have to do anything. But here are the key details, as we know them now. Because WWE and Peacock have been very slow to give out information. This is the first week where we really got a lot of information. April 4th, like I said, the network as we know it will cease to exist here in this country. If you are in the UK or any other country, this does not affect you. You will need to sign up for a Peacock account if you don't already have one, your WWE Network account. I know at first some people thought, well, maybe they'll automatically migrate you over and you won't have to do anything. Not the case. You will have to manually go ahead and set up a Peacock account on your own. And as I feared, if you subscribe to the network like I subscribe to the network for pretty much everything. I have to watch, obviously, the current pay-per-views. I love the Broken Skull Sessions and some of the documentaries. There's a lot of great content on there. But I am a fan of the classic content. And if you are a fan of the old pay-per-views, if you are a fan of other territories, if you are a fan of the episodes they have up of Superstars and Primetime and Wrestling Challenge and all that good stuff, it will not be available in its entirety on Peacock. Not for a while. And they don't even have the full library on the network now. It's not like everything is on there. It has taken years. It has taken this long for them to even get to the point where they have the content they have digitized and uploaded to the network. And now it is going to take at least until the summer for them to return all of that classic content exactly to where it is right now. Now, I didn't expect them to just push a button and port everything over on day one, but what I do wish is that they either would have started working on this sooner, or they would have delayed the migration until more of the library was ready for prime time. But yeah, the library is not their top priority. Their top priority is WrestleMania. It just feels like this all came together in a rush very quickly, and they wanted to make sure that this was done so that WrestleMania could be the first exclusive Peacock-only pay-per-view. That's why they're moving as quickly as they are. But I think that sucks. Now, according to an article on TheVerge.com, if you're a fan of the match markers for shows where you can quickly skip to what you want, which are very helpful, especially, if I'm referencing something, for example, I want to go back and just watch or rewatch something when I'm researching and putting together the history segment. I'm a little fuzzy on my memory of something, so it's very convenient for me to just go to the network, and if it's a particular segment, those match markers have come in very handy for me. I'm sure many of you are probably fans of it as well. There will be no more match markers on the WWE Network on Peacock, at least not initially. Maybe months down the road they'll implement something like that, but there will be no more match markers. If you are looking for a specific match or a specific segment, you will just have to scrub through the show and find it yourself. They also say the search function will not be as robust as it currently is on the network. I'm really hoping that in time they get their act together with this. I have said for years, you've heard me on this podcast, for all the talk about WWE creative, right, and all the criticism and the stuff I've said, the one thing that I rarely have any criticism for, although I have argued for years that we need a live mute button for the commentary, and I am deadly serious. I want that to be a feature. I refuse to believe that it is an impossible thing to implement. With all the technology we have here in this country and in this world, I know it can be done. And I'm still waiting for that to be done. But I have said for years the network is a steal. Even for $9.99, it is a steal for the amount of content, current and classic, that you have access to. I love the network. And this change does not inspire a lot of confidence that the stuff that I want to watch is either going to be there, or that, honestly, it's going to be any real priority for the folks at Peacock to get it uploaded in a timely way in the future. Is getting the next year's worth of old Superstars episodes really going to be a priority for the people at Peacock? Probably not. So a lot of what I'm hearing, I don't like. But if ever, and this is a cheap plug here, but I do think this could actually be legitimately helpful to a lot of people. If ever there was a time for you to take advantage of our Express VPN offer, this is it. Now, I cannot sit here and say for sure that this will work the way that it does, for instance, if you're a Netflix subscriber and there's content, if you're a Netflix subscriber, you know that shows and movies, they get cycled off of Netflix all the time. They don't just put stuff up and it sits there forever. Stuff is constantly being added, and when stuff is added, other stuff is taken off the service. So it may not work that same way, where if stuff is taken off of the US version of Netflix, but let's say there's a movie I really want to see, and it's on the German version of Netflix or the UK version of Netflix, you can use a VPN to spoof your location and get access to the content that way. Because you already have a Netflix account. All you need to do is trick it into thinking that you're in a different part of the world, and all of a sudden, you can watch that movie, or you can watch that TV show. The difference here, and the reason why I'm not 100% sure if this will work the same way as a workaround, is that the WWE Network in the US next month is totally shutting down. You will no longer have a WWE Network account. You will have a Peacock account, so you are not going to be billed by WWE Network anymore. So it is possible this may not work. We won't know for sure until next month, but you should be using a VPN anyway. A lot of people have signed up with our link this week. I think you should too. The link to use is expressvpn.com/Solomonster. And when you use that link and you sign up for a year, which is what it is, it's for a 12-month plan, you get an extra 3 months free. So you're getting 15 months instead of 12. So I just put that out there for those of you who are interested. But we also learned this week that WWE will stream what I assume is going to be a virtual Hall of Fame ceremony on Tuesday, April 6th on Peacock, with the current plan to include the entire 2020 Hall of Fame class who did not get to give speeches last year, in addition to brand new inductees for 2021. So Dave Bautista, Hulk Hogan, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Sean Waltman representing the NWO. The Bella Twins, JBL, the British Bulldog, only one of them, Davey Boy Smith, and Jushin Thunder Liger. That was your 2020 class. The plan is for them to get their inductions this year. And also, the first inductee for the 2021 class was announced this week on The Bump. They had her on as a special guest, and then all of a sudden, here comes Shane Helms. He's on screen for a special announcement, and this person had no idea what was going on, and Shane Helms was on The Bump to announce that Molly Holly, Mighty Molly, remember Mighty Molly and the Hurricane? Molly Holly is the first inductee into the 2021 class of the WWE Hall of Fame. And she was totally caught by surprise and was so grateful for it. And I like Molly. I think Molly is a fine choice. I think that Shad Gaspard should be a shoo-in for the Warrior Award. If they have the Warrior Award this year, then I think he's a no-brainer for that.